Welcome to your yoga practice. For this class, you are going to need 4 rocks or stones. So I have river rocks. You can use crystals. If you don't have any stones, grab something earthy, pine cones, twigs, whatever you've got nearby. And we are going to use these for grounding, but also we're going to kind of talk about the 4 cardinal directions and what those might mean, and we're going to correlate that to the body. So get ready for some fun and a mostly restorative class. So having said that, I want you to just set your stuff aside, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and hold it, and let it go. Another deep breath in. Hold it. And let it go. We're going to inhale the arms up. Bring the palms together. Exhale them home to your heart in Anjali Mudra. Close your eyes. Pausing here to set your sankalpa, your intention for your practice. We are going to be setting other intentions as we go, but they're going to be specific to each direction, and we'll get there. So, setting a general intention for the practice. Releasing your hands when you're ready. Let the right fingers find the earth beside you. Inhale the left arm up. Take that side bend to the right. Open up the shoulder, gazing up at the ceiling. Deepen the breath. Come on, get a little bit of a longer stretch from the left hip to the left fingertips. When you're ready, we'll use that right hand to push us back up, releasing the left fingertips down to the ground. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale to the left. Again, open up that shoulder, take your gaze upward. Stretch it out, a little more length here. And then push your way back up. Release the right arm down. We're going to take the arms into scarecrow. Pull back. So draw the shoulder blades together. Breathe. And then slowly let's bring the elbows forward towards each other. Forearms will touch. Round out the shoulders. And then again, scarecrow, this time let's turn the thumbs behind us. Then pull back, keep breathing, lift the heart, lift the chin. On an exhale, bring the forearms back towards each other, round out the spine. And then come back to center and release the arms. Close your eyes. Let's go ahead and stretch out both legs. Flex the feet, and then I want to add a soft bend to the knees, and if you want to, you could put a blanket or sweatshirt underneath your knees. Sit up tall, fingers staying grounded on the earth, since this is a grounding theme anyway. And gently walk your way forward, I don't know, maybe a few inches, just to loosen up, add some movement. You can kind of experiment with coming down lower if you want to. If you can grab onto the feet, then what you can do is pull back on the feet as leverage to try to lengthen out the spine and lift the heart up. You could also use a strap for that if you want to. If you're here and you're thinking, yeah, no, I've got enough of a stretch going on, I don't need to add to it, that's practicing ahimsa, so good for you. All right, deep breath in. As you exhale, let's make our way up. Fabulous. Okay, let's get some props going here. I think a blanket would be great to completely cover you with, and perhaps I don't know, another blanket or your bolster for a pillow. And what I want to do, well, let's set that up first, then we'll get to what I want to do. Here's my bolster. Okay, so I want you to pick up your first rock, stone, whatever you're using. And I want you to just hold it in both hands and close your eyes. And allow your focus to be on the feel of what it is you're holding. I want you to notice the temperature, the weight, texture, and let's go ahead for a moment and set the intention that this item in our hands is all about new beginnings. So the intention is that we are open and receptive to that. And this item that you're holding, I want you to set down on the left side of your mat, about midway. So if I'm laying down, I want this to end up where my hand is. We'll have to move it a little bit, but approximately it's halfway down your mat. And then let's go ahead and pick up our second item, second rock, whatever it is, same thing. I want you again to notice texture, weight, and I want to set the intention with this item, an intention of being grounded, rooted to the earth, as well as an intention to be open to spontaneity. And you might think, well, gosh, those don't seem like they go together, being rooted and spontaneous. We'll find out. And then go ahead and take that item. And I want to set this down at the end of my mat. It's going to go between my feet. All right. Go ahead and pick up your third stone, crystal, whatever it is you're using. And see, like, I'm using river rocks, so they kind of all feel the same. I'm looking for the nuances in the shape, but you might have 4 completely different items, so I really do want you to focus on temperature, texture, weight, maybe even the energy of what you're holding. And I want to set the intention with this one that I'm open to releasing old habits. I'm going to set this one on the right side of my mat, about halfway down. This will end up underneath my right palm. And then, last but not least, grab that fourth item. Close your eyes, take your focus to it. And with this one, I set the intention of being receptive to my inner wisdom. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it out behind where my head's going to be. So I have my bolster as the pillow. So I'm going to set this one past my bolster on the earth. Fabulous. All right. So let's go ahead and lay down. As you stretch out the legs, I want you to feel for your item with your feet. I want that right between the feet. And it's okay if you're not touching the item. You can be if you want to, but I don't want you to have to hold your legs in place, right? I want them to be able to relax. And then go ahead and get the two on either side of you right underneath your palm. And then as you close your eyes, let's consciously be aware that that other stone is above our head. And if you want to, at this point, use your blanket to cover up with. You might want it to stay nice and warm. Take a deep breath in, hold it. And let it go. Make 2 more of those. And with the left hand, I want you to feel like that rock or that stone or shell or twig, whatever you're using, is connecting its energy to the energy in your palm. And I want you to send 3 deep breaths to that item under the left hand. So if we were to imagine that our head is north, makes our feet south, right? Then this item underneath the left hand is going to represent east. And the 4 cardinal directions are called that because the word cardinal means foremost or essential. And so these are our, I guess, essential directional points that make up our physical, emotional, sensing self, if you will, as well as the mind. So this stone that you have here, or rock or shell, I'm going to say stone so I don't have to keep repeating myself, represents the east. The east is all about new beginnings. And I want you to think of it like this. When we have something new in our life, it takes some nurturing, doesn't it? Nurturing to even establish maybe steps or goals. It takes nurturing to get it started. And the left side of the body is the feminine side, which is also about nurturing. Its element, the element associated with the east, is air. And if you recall, but I'm here to remind you, that the air element connects with the heart chakra, Anahata. That air element, you can remember that the lungs are beneath the heart, right? So that's one way to easily remember that. So I want you to think about air and wind, and how when a fabulous, warm, strong wind sweeps by, that perhaps it is helping plant these seeds for new beginnings, a new direction. The east is associated with the season of spring, which makes sense, right? New beginnings, seedlings, new plants. And so with spring, I want you to feel in your heart this sense of creativity. I want you to intentionally send your breath to that stone on the east side, underneath the left hand. And I want you to really feel this connection of, I'm nurturing you, you're nurturing me. This idea of wind and air, but yet this item grounding us to the earth. So we're not getting blown away in the wind. We're very rooted, receptive, and open to these new beginnings. Imagine that you can feel an energy pull from that rock under your palm. So again, really feeling grounded as though that item is holding you in place. And I want you to set an intention, in your own words of course, that you are open to change, that you are open to new things, new beginnings. You word it your way, but that's the intention we're going to set with this stone. And will you offer this stone under your left hand gratitude? Gratitude for being present. Gratitude that it has allowed you to remove it from its natural space to spend time with you, grounding you, reminding you to stay rooted, connecting you with the elements. The river rock especially, when I look at it or I think about it, and I picture it in a riverbed, I think about, there's the water element, of course, that's washing over it. There's the element of fire from the sun as the sun shines down to warm up the stone. And then you have, of course, the air element or wind that's moving past or over the stone or around it. And then earth, of course, it's made of the earth. And river rocks in particular are symbolic of providing energy to your aura. So there's a lot going on with the stones. And if you're using something else, like shells or twigs, I would encourage you to talk to my best friend Google and see what the symbolism is of that item you're using. Give me a deep breath in, hold the breath. Let it go. Perhaps a few more deep breaths, really connecting with that air element, since this stone represents the element of air. So let's find that connection as well. And then shifting your focus to the stone that you placed between your feet. And I want you to imagine or tap into, it might not be imagination, that could be the wrong word here. Tap into the energy that you feel emanating from that stone. So I think what's interesting about this particular stone, which is located at the south, because we're using the directions again based on the body, and the head is north. So the south represents that inner child. There's a curiosity here. There's a playfulness, which you might feel is a little bit in contrast to, well, this one is down by the root chakra, right? So how does that work together? The element of the south is fire. And fire is the element of the solar plexus chakra, which is the chakra right above the navel. So digestion, self-esteem, control. And when I think about control with this particular stone in the south, I'm thinking about how do we control the spontaneity and the curiosity of the inner child and balance it with the root chakra, which is looking to be grounded, safe. So I want you to offer an intention to this stone between the feet that you're open to inviting in that spontaneity. If you tend to hold back or you're more reserved, can you be receptive to that energy while still staying balanced, grounded, safe? The stone in the south is symbolic of daytime, right? The sun rises in the east, so that first stone that we were working with represents dawn, which, of course, doesn't that go along with the whole idea of new beginnings? The south is daytime, and I see that as some type of clarity as well, because I can see everything. The sun is out, right? You've got that fire element. And so I want you to connect with the solar plexus. I want you to, again, it's about 3 fingers above the navel. I want you to breathe into that space, directing the energy of the breath down towards this item between the feet, but really feeling the abdomen filling and then depleting with the exhale. Then let's go ahead and offer that stone in the south gratitude for being here. Gratitude for providing you with that grounding energy. And again, this idea that perhaps we have taken this item out of its element, but maybe that's not so much unlike us. Maybe being here on earth is out of our natural element, who knows? And so here we are together. And I'd ask you to shift your attention to the item you have underneath the right hand. So that's representing the west. The west is associated with the element of water. And water to me symbolizes a cleansing. Also a nurturing element because our seeds need water to grow, right? But a cleansing. So I want to be receptive to rinsing away bad habits, old habits, so that on the flip side, in the other hand, we're receptive to the new, right? The water element is associated with the sacral chakra, which is located about 3 finger widths below the navel. And it's tied to sensuality, sexuality, creativity. And you can remember with sensuality that this west side is tied to feelings and emotions. The west side represents evening, the sun setting. And I want you to visualize for a moment a sunset, because the impending darkness doesn't have to be or feel like a negative. I want you to see all the beautiful colors. The oranges, the pinks, the indigos, the purples, whatever you've got going on in your mind, I want you to connect with those. And the west is associated with the season of fall. And so in that way you can also think about changing colors of leaves and kind of make these connections, right? So I want you to breathe into the sacral, Really letting the stomach push out on the inhale and pull back on the exhale. And connecting that breath with the item that you have underneath the right hand. And then will you offer this item gratitude again for grounding you, guiding you on your journey? And then shifting your focus to the stone or the item that is above your crown chakra, above your head, representing the north. The season it is affiliated with is winter. And perhaps ironically, the element is earth, so it's actually associated with the root chakra, which is at the opposite end of the body. The north symbolizes this inner wisdom, that there's a deeper mystery to things. And I want you to be receptive to the energy of perhaps going within. So I would almost, in symbolism, correlate this to the third eye chakra, that meditational space between the eyebrows that helps you go deeper to find those answers. It is associated, I think I might have said this already, with winter, but kind of the shutting down of everything, the hibernation kind of feeling, which is a going within. I want you to tap into the energy of that stone and send your breath in its direction. That northern energy is about reasoning and logic and cleansing. So maybe you picture the snowfall, which it makes the ground look all white and clean, right? You can remember it in that way, perhaps. And that particular direction, the north, it also symbolizes the trials that we go through in our daily life. Perhaps you could visualize like a bison or a buffalo in the coldest depths of winter, and there's this strong icy wind, but the buffalo is facing it head on. That symbolizes facing our trials with patience and calm. So here we're finding the balance, right? So offering that northern stone gratitude for guiding you, for showing you patience, Doesn't mean we have achieved patience yet, but it is reminding us to be patient. And will you also set the intention with that northern stone, something like you're receptive to digging a little deeper for your own answers? And then allow your focus, it's probably easier to shift to the items under the hands because you can feel those. So if you feel like you can take your focus to all 4 items simultaneously, that's fine. If that's a struggle, shift your focus to the 2 that are under your hands. And I want you to think about this. There is so much archived history in whatever it is you're holding. So for instance, if you're using rocks or stones, we have no idea how long our particular stones have been here on Earth. But I want you to imagine the unbelievable amount of years that it could be and feel connected to that history. And even if you're holding something, you didn't have stones around or anything earthy, but you grabbed something else, whatever that might be, think about its origin. Like something in that item has to date back, probably ultimately coming back to the earth. So I just want you to imagine that you can feel the ages of history, of connection. I want you to wonder how many other people have held your rock. From what cultures? From what tribes? Do you suppose that this rock that maybe you picked up locally traveled here from somewhere else? Or did you purchase yours in a store so it could come from anywhere? I want you to embrace that connection, recognizing that we're connected to everyone, everything, every energy. And allowing your entire body to feel rooted to the earth, safe and secure, supported by forces that you don't normally direct your attention to, those that are unseen. Gratitude for your space here on Earth, and emotionally being receptive to inviting in that change we talked about. New beginnings, new energies, and letting go of those that stifle us and hold us back. Give me a deep breath in and hold it. When you're ready to exhale, send that breath to all 4 stones. And in being receptive to change, I want you to stay right as you are. I'm not going to direct you out of your pose. I'm not going to ask you to take your hands to your heart. I am simply going to close, and you can stay where you are, connected to your stones, for as long as it feels right. The light in me bows to the light in you. And when I'm in that place in me, and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.